What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA camp. Let's get started. Alex Pereira aspires to win the World Championship in 3 sports. Alex is now the UFC light heavyweight champion, a former middleweight champion, and a former Glory Kickboxing middleweight and light heavyweight champion. In the future, Alex hopes to fight in boxing and take on Alexander Usyk, the current heavyweight champion. Alex stated on the Jackson podcast, "I don't know. I think anything is possible. It's something I can't plan, but it is something I would really like to do. That's something that I really want. I'm under contract with the UFC. We know Conor McGregor did it. I don't know how I would, but someday I would really like to do it. I'm the champ. I would like to fight the champ." So, Alexander Usyk, I think it's a very good fight. I love boxing. I see some people talking, "Oh, if it were pure boxing, he would be lost." Man, when you talk pure boxing, I feel great. I think I could fight these guys out there. I've already done some sparring with experienced guys. Plinio Cruz knows it, and they're winning everything there. Alex's coach, Plinio Cruz, then gave his 2 cents. He said, "Me personally, I've put him all ready to spar some world-class top 10 heavyweight boxers, guys with names, real good names that I'm not going to mention, but he did really good, so I think he could do good. I believe in him." Israel Adesanya's motivation is questioned by Daniel Cormier prior to his bout with Nassourdine Imavov. Before the 5th round of Izzy's fight with Kelvin Gastelum, Izzy mouthed the words, "I'm prepared to die." Subsequent to that bout, Izzy defeated Robert Whittaker to win the title, which he later often defended. Given how financially successful Izzy is now, DC questions whether he still has the same degree of drive. DC stated on Good Guy Bad Guy, "So, like when that moment happens, like against Kelvin Gastelum, and he was in the corner in the 5th round and went, 'I'll die for this,' and he was like mouthing to himself, 'I'll die for this, I'll die for this.' He had money. He was a kickboxing champion, but he was fighting for an interim championship with the opportunity to get Robert Whittaker to become the unified champion. He didn't have money at the rate that he has right now. He didn't have the zeros in the bank account. He didn't have the accolades. He did not have the notoriety. He'll find himself in that 4th to 5th round with Imavov this weekend and have to dig deep, knowing that nothing changes if he doesn't, right? Nothing changes. Israel Adesanya will still be a star if he wins or loses. Israel Adesanya will still collect the same paycheck on Saturday night if he loses. The money that he has in his bank remains the same. All of his investments and properties will remain the same. How does he pull back to that moment when he didn't have all those things if need be? I never fought in my life in a 5-round main event that wasn't for a championship, and I've got to be honest, I don't think that I could. I don't think I could have went 25 minutes without knowing that there was a shiny gold belt waiting on the end of that, because it's hard to pull the dog out of you whenever you don't get that thing that means so much when the night's over." When Sean Strickland tries to reach an agreement with Dricus Du Plessis before their rematch, Israel Adesanya responds, "Be a man and keep the fight standing," Sean advised Dricus.
"Listen, Dutch man, I'm gonna need you to be a man. I'm gonna need you to stand up, not go to your knees, and we're gonna need to strike like men."
Izzy praised Dricus for his recent achievement after losing to Dricus by submission in the 4th round this past August. Izzy, however, believes that Sean Strickland's attempt to reach an agreement to continue the fight is somewhat absurd and not worth giving any thought to. In an interview with MMAfighting.com, Izzy stated, "The great fighters, I think 99% or 80% follow the rules, and 10% or 20% of the time break the rules. Doctor has flipped that around. 10% of the time he follows the rules of striking, and then the other 90% he breaks the rules, and he's great. You can't fault him for that. He's so great at it. It's working for him. Don't try to fix it." That's kinda silly. It's silly to say. I don't think he means it because Dricus is good at what he does. Trying to take that away from him would be, you're really not proving you're the best then. Look, I think Dricus is probably going to win that fight. He's great at what he does, and Israel Adesanya 2025 would look like this fight coming up with my hand raised, and I haven't even planned out the rest. All I'm focused on right now is getting in there with Imavov, doing work, and getting my hand raised. Definitely where I'm at. After that, I'll deal with it as it comes. Sergei Pavlovich says he is not worried about supporters quitting him after he lost 2 straight fights ahead of his matchup with Jairzinho Rozenstruik in his fight for the interim heavyweight title against Tom Aspinall. Sergey suffered his first defeat when Tom knocked him out in the opening round. Then, in June of last year, year, he was unanimously defeated by Alexander Volkov. In an interview with the media, Sergey said, "Of course, I felt it. I felt that some people turned away, but I don't pay them too much attention. I want to thank personally the people that have stayed, that supported me through this. For them, I want to do this. And those people who came and went, whatever. I'm not worried about that. He's a very explosive guy. He's very fast. He has a lot of experience. So you have to be ready for anything when it comes to him, and I'm ready for all 3 rounds." Dana White has expressed great hope that Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall will face off this year. Dana responded to persistent rumors about the possible heavyweight title unification fight today. He underlined that although the UFC is keen to schedule the bout, they will look into other pairings if an agreement cannot be made quickly. In an interview with the Mac Life, Dana stated, "100%. If we don't get the fight done, we move on and make another fight, but not last night. But the night before, I was up in my room with people until like 6 in the morning. We're working on lots of stuff right now. There's lots of really good bars going on right now. There's no situation. It's the biggest fight we can make. I know the fans like to mess with Jon or whatever. Jon Jones isn't afraid of anybody, and Jon Jones will fight anybody. It's just a matter of getting the fight done now. That's our job." Jairzinho Rozenstruik takes on Sergei Pavlovich at UFC Saudi Arabia. In the heavyweight division, Sergey is presently ranked 4th, while Jairzinho is placed 9th. Jairzinho's goal is to defeat Sergey, move up the rankings, and eventually challenge for the title. He declares that the battle will end if Sergey commits any errors.
I mean, you can take everything away. Like you can take everything. You see everything. You've been there. They trained with him 2 years, so I've seen a lot. I've trained with him a lot. We've been training partners. So yeah, I mean, I improve a lot of my wrestling. I don't know if I needed this fight, but if I need it, I can use it. So I'm not shy to bring that out, you know. But we'll see what the fight brings, and if I really need it, I'm having it. So you have a lot of aggressive fighters. The way to stop them is to punch them in the face, of course, and then yeah, we go from there. The reaction will decide. I'm bringing the fight to him, definitely. He wanna win, so he has to come forward, you know. So the way I see this fight, any mistake he makes, the fight's over. Win this Saturday, put me on the number 4 ranking in the world. That means I'm fighting one more guy before I can talk about the title, or I can jump right in there looking for the title shot. So that's where I see myself in the 2025.
Khamzat Chimaev was the target of Sean Strickland's ire. In the past, Sean and Khamzat were friendly. A few years ago, they trained together at Extreme Couture. But recently, things changed in the relationship. Regarding Khamzat's suspected cryptocurrency schemes and his connection to Ramzan Kadyrov, the leader of the Chechen Republic, Sean has been quite critical of him. In an interview with MMA Junkie, Big Shot Chimaev, "He's a cheat, and anybody who fights that guy is going to get a paycheck, dude. The cheat, the in. He went hard, and he fought a guy who came out really flat and doesn't give a toss. Rob is known to either be a superstar or a can, and he was a can. He was just met with too much pressure. After I'm done with Chimaev, he's to go back to peddling crypto scams. Can Chimaev fight? Yeah, he can fight, but you're not a man. I know you're not a man. You know you're not a man. The whole world knows you're not a man." Sean had something to say to Islam Makhachev as well. Islam has declared his desire to become a double champion by moving up to middleweight. Islam stated that he is certain he has the keys to defeat Dricus Du Plessis after witnessing his bout. Sean disagrees. Sean went on, "You're a little man, bro. You ain't going to wrestle me, dog. He's this big dog. It ain't going to happen. Go back to Dagestan, bro. Calm down." Israel Adesanya claims he is not worried about reclaiming the title before his bout against Nassourdine Imavov this weekend, since his battle with Anderson Silva in 2019. This is Izzy's first bout without a championship. Izzy claims that he is more concerned with his influence on the MMA community. He goes on to say that losing his next 10 bouts won't alter the history he has created.
Champion definitely isn't just defined by the belt. You know, there's guys in this game that I consider them champions, and they've never held a belt. But a champion is defined by character in and out of the octagon, in and out of the cage, the way they fight, the way they carry themselves. It doesn't have to be some fake bull, fake humble, like, oh, you know, holier than thou, role model. Nah, I'm talking like someone who's real, someone who keeps it real. A champion, a legend goes beyond that. I'd say a legend in the game has to do with longevity. I'd say longevity or impact. What kind of impact have you had on the game? Yeah, and a champion, I'd say, is just how you carry yourself in and out of the cage. And a legend is the kind of impact, long-lasting impact you've had on the game. Thanks for that question. That was a good one. This is an important fight for me, but it's for me. Like I said to Oscar before, I could lose my next 10 fights and it wouldn't, dim my history or anything. But this fight is important for me, not for anyone else. I'm doing this to prove to myself, I'm still involved in this game. I'm still getting better and I'm still very dangerous. So yeah, I'm doing this one for me.
Alex Pereira will corner Sean Strickland in his rematch with Dricus Du Plessis. Pereira will face Magomed Ankalaev at UFC 313 to defend his light heavyweight title. Daniel Cormier believes that by cornering Sean at his Magomed training camp, Alex is taking a chance. Daniel Cormier posted the following on his YouTube channel. What we do know is that Alex Pereira is going to be fighting an opponent who could be his most formidable yet due to their style. But we must also consider the strength of his relationship with Strickland is so strong that he is willing to travel across the world to corner him. To me, it seems dangerous. It seems risky for Alex to make such a journey to Australia, knowing everything that goes into a training camp and how hard that travel can be on your body when you're preparing to continue to defend your world championship. So how strong is that bond? How much does Sean Strickland now mean to Alex Pereira for him to take that risk? Because trust me, it's a risk.